גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם כולו, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד.
Down the mountain with my drum in hand, I'll play you some tribal rhythms if you'll dance with me, my friend. We'll dance right in the moonlight, we'll dance right in the sand. Beneath these golden mountain tops, we'll dance right to the end. And we will hold our hand while we stroll. For you I give my heart, for you I give my soul. The miracle of you is the miracle of me. For you I give my everything. The miracle of you is the miracle of me. For you I give my everything.
Come on back to your father's truth and return to the holy root. Come on back to the wisdom of home and realize that you're not alone. Shine your light like your mother said, for you were there when we were led. And there's a path for us all to see. Just grab that lamp that's at your feet. Etz Chaim Hi L'machazikim ba L'tomcheha me'usha. You can hear it, it's in the breeze. It's a story written in the leaves. And though those branches, they may wind and weave, it's a tree of life. Etz Chaim, Etz Chaim Hi L'machazikim ba L'tomcheha me'usha. Etz Chaim Hi
Okay. Claudia just gave me we're ready to go. Shabbat Shalom. And it's wonderful to be with you, whether you're online or whether you're here in the sanctuary. Anybody who's here in either place, this is those who are willing to be in the synagogue 2 times in the same week, as we have this well, you can't just tell me 3 times. They don't all come to everything, so it's okay. But this is our first Shabbat post Yom Kippur, and some say that Yom Kippur is the holiest day of the year, and others say that the holiest day of the year is the days that follow Yom Kippur. The question then becomes, have we done the work that we need to do to be better in the new year, to move forward? So welcome, thanks for being with us. We're going to begin with an Igun. We have our shul band with us today, not quite at full force, but we have a good collection of shul band members here, and we're going to start with an Igun, a melody to warm up our spirits.
Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 yada dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai. Yada dai dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai. Dai 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 yada dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai. Yada dai. Yada dai dai dai. Yada dai dai. Dai yada dai dai yada dai. Join me, come on. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 yada. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai. Yada dai dai dai.
Let's take a deep breath as we find ourselves in this space That space being either our sanctuary, wherever you are, wherever we are, we create some space, a space for prayer, a space for connection. We're going to turn now to pages 2 and 3 in our Siddur. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. I invite everybody who's comfortable doing so to please rise as we bless our Shabbat lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'yitzivanu lehadlikner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. We're going to continue in a moment on pages 20 and 21 with Lecha Dodi, but we take a moment, as is our custom, to reflect on the week that has passed. It was a week full of Jewish time and ritual to go back to last Shabbat, which was the first Shabbat of the new year. Spend a moment on each day, its challenges and its blessings, and then we'll come back together. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, I invite those in the sanctuary to rise and face the doors from which we entered, those at home to face the door of your home, to welcome the Shabbat presence and the Nishama Yetera, the extra soulfulness that travels with us during Shabbat, into our hearts. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi.
Likrat Kala.
Likrat Kala.
Penei Shabbat.
Penei Shabbat.
Nikabe La. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi.
Likrat Kala.
Likrat Kala.
Penei Shabbat.
Penei Shabbat.
Nikabela.
Nekabela.
Lecha Dodi. Likrat Kala. Penei Shabbat. Nikabela. Lecha Dodi. Likrat Kala. Penei Shabbat. Nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Ishbianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shem tiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi. לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם ניצוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please rise if you're able and face the doors.
עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
בעלמא יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי.
בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה,
ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה. שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. To ושפחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמא ואמרו Amen.
Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, page 28.
Yada die die die, 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 yada die die die. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I aware? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai.
Page 30, last three lines in the Hebrew.
El chai v'kayam, tamili v'chaleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo.
Hamariv Aravi.
Amen. 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
Ve'ahavatecha atasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Oelamo Yisrael.
Amen. 34 and 35, Shema Yisrael.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Maluto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Maluto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
46. Continue with Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinamtam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtaptam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We turn to our Song of Freedom, Mi Chamocha, page 40.
Kamocha, Vailim Adonai, Mi Kamocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, Posei Fele, Malechutecha Rauvanecha Mokei Hayam, Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Adonai Himlo, Leolam Ba'ed, Yalla la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad, chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo.
Gal Yisrael.
Amen. Page 42. As night descends, ask the Holy One to shelter us with a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace. We ask that that we go to bed with a sense of shleimut, of wholeness in the evening, and wake up with a sense of life, with a sense of purpose each morning. And we eke out as much blessing out of the day, out of each day as we can. Hashkivenu, page 42.
Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'amidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'amidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha, ushmor tzedenu uvoenu. Ufros aleinu sukkah shlomecha, ushmor tzedenu uvoenu. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'amidenu shomreinu lechayim. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
On Kol Nidre on Erev Yom Kippur, I talked about Shabbat as an important, perhaps one of the most important inheritances and gifts of the Jewish people. And the pause between the notes, as I mentioned, gives that is part of the art of living. I appreciate every week the opportunity to take a breath and to connect, and just to have a pause between all of the other things that are happening all the time. So we give thanks for that opportunity and for that gift. Join in singing Vishamru, page 44.
Beini uvein b'nei Israel, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Ve'shamru b'nei Israel et haShabbat, lasu et haShabbat. ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. בני ישראל את השבת, עשו את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue on page 46 for our Amidah. Ask people who are able to comfortably do so to please rise. Mila Levitin-Shulman will lead us.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zozer Chazei Avot v'Imachot, U'megi Gula Mivnechem, Leman Shemo v'Achala, Melech Choser Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Morid hatah, Mechakel chayim b'chesed, Mechayei hakol b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rochech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Micha mocha bal gevurot, Umidol melach, Melech mebit umechayem, Umatzmiach meshurach, Lemanata lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol.
Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el Hakadosh.
Amen.
please continue silently with the words of your own heart or the words of the Siddur of the prayer book through page 62, 63. When you're through, you may be seated.
Little nigun of gratitude to our friend Reb Menachem Mirsky, who can't be with us tonight because he's got a job, but his spirit lives here at Temple Beth Israel. Yam bam 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 ba da yam bam ba ya ram bam ba ya da 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 ya da da yam bam 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 ba da ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Join us, sing. Yam bam 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 ba da yam bam ba da ram bam ba ya da 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 ya da da yam bam 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 ba da ya da 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 bam ba ya da 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 da.
So we're almost at the end, not of the sermon, because I haven't started it yet, but of our Torah cycle. We are in the second to last parsha, Ha'azinu. Then we have, we're off next week from a weekly reading because it is Shabbat Sukkot. And then we come back to Vezot HaBracha at Simchat Torah. And Bereshit, right? We read those together. Hazinu, this week's Torah portion, I didn't print it for you or anything, but it actually, usually we have a column of text, and in this case, this single column is split into two columns, two narrow columns. It's kind of signifies that this is a song or poetry that's going, that's here, and it's part of Moses's. I mean, we could say the whole book of Deuteronomy is his farewell address, but this is really like his farewell address. There's that thing, right? How do Jews say farewell or goodbye, right? And can a Jew ever really say goodbye? And it's the punchline of that old joke, right? Gentiles leave without saying goodbye, and Jews say goodbye, but they never leave, right? That's the joke, right? Some of you may be the ones who close out the oneg, right? Everybody's left and you're still there on a Friday night or a party that you go to or whatever that is. The Hebrew language essentially gives the same answer as that joke. How do we say goodbye generally in Hebrew? We say lehitraot, right? Which literally means until we see you again, right? Or see you later. There's no way that in the Jewish imagination we could go too long without seeing each other. There's a Jewish tradition that if you see a friend that you haven't seen in a year, that you say a bracha. And that bracha is Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hametim, right? Blessed are you who brings life to the dead, right? Because we reconnect with somebody. And perhaps in the ancient world, if you really hadn't seen anybody for a year, right, that means they weren't in your little village, you actually didn't really know what happened to them, right? They had gone out and you saw them again and you're like, thank God that I can see you and be with you. This week's parsha, as I said, Ha'azinu, is Moses' final farewell to the Jewish people. Next week he's going to go up to Mount Nebo and he'll die. And I'm not a psychologist, but I read some literature, and it doesn't take a psychologist here to see that Moses is having a really hard time saying goodbye. He argues with God, doesn't really want to do these. Sure, I can't just go into the land, I can't just, let me just, then, like, this idea that his journey is coming to an end is very difficult for him. And perhaps he's not incorrectly concerned that he will be forgotten by the Jewish people. Zechor Yomot Olam, he says, echoing the words of the Breakfast Club, don't you forget about me. It's a deep concern that speaks not only to Moses' state of mind, but to a great fear that I believe many of us have, that all of the things that we do, that the work of our life, that it will come to nothing, that we will say goodbye and leave and disappear without leaving a trace of ourselves behind. And since we have the hindsight here to read back into this Torah portion, let's take a moment to reflect that Moses, who said goodbye next week in this portion, has really never really left. The legacy, Moses' legacy, looms larger than life in Jewish history. Zechor Yomot Olam, remembering the past. When we lift the Torah, we sing V'zot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Lifnei B'nei Yisrael, right? This is the Torah that Moses gave, right? And we lift it up. We remember Moses every time we do that. Or when we refer to, we're reading a text and it refers to Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses our teacher, or Moses our rabbi. It is almost as if when we read that text that, like, yeah, we're saying he's our teacher, like he's in the front of the classroom. We're here, even today, that Moses is there. So much has changed about Judaism, but we have not forgotten Moses, the lawgiver, the very frustrated, often leader of our people. When we study Torah, Moses is there. He's said goodbye, but he's never really left us. So I want to think for a moment about an observation about our Jewish calendar. And that is the fact that the Jewish calendar has two Yizkor services very close to one another. We had Yizkor on Yom Kippur, and on Shmini Atzeret, Simchat Torah, we will have another Yizkor service, less than 2 weeks apart. No sooner have we finished mourning our loved ones on Yom Kippur, having contemplated the sadness of our loss, having brought up all of those emotions, Shmini Atzeret comes along. And the next Yizkor service after that isn't until Pesach, 6 months later, and then 150 days after that at Shavuot. Traditionally on Shmini Atzeret, we ask God to send the winter rains, right? We wait till Shmini Atzeret so that we're no longer in our sukkah. We don't want it to rain while we're in the sukkah, so we start the prayers for rain right after Sukkot. But having Yizkor also allows us to feel that connection in our hearts again, and to bring up those emotions, even at this time of Sukkot, which is a time of gladness, but we carry with us that all the time, that sadness and that grief as well. We go through the same service, we say the same prayers 2 weeks later. And perhaps it's a reminder to us in the beginning of each new year that we don't want to go too long without thinking about our loved ones, that to bring their memories up is many ways to bring them back from the dead, that we must not go too long from one farewell to another. The same way that as the Jewish people, Moses, we've said goodbye, but Moses is still there in so many ways. It's really like that for us in our own lives as well, right? How many times do we hear the voices in the things that we're about to do, or the accomplishments that we've had, or the struggles that we have? We hear the voices of our parents or grandparents or our siblings or whoever that is in our life that has died. And it's as if they're with us at that moment. And so tradition reminds us to not let them go too far as we enter this new year. We say lehitraot until we see each other again, until we visit with one another again. Shabbat Shalom. We turn to page 253. We turn our thoughts to all of those in our lives and in our community who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit. For those at the end of their lives, we pray that they're surrounded by love, and that they have moments of connection with those around them, and they feel embraced by their loved ones and by the Holy One. And we hold all of those folks in our lives, in our hearts. If you're at home and you want to mention people in the chat, feel free to do so. Those in the congregation will have a chance to share any names that they're thinking of.
O Holy One, who blessed our mothers, blessed our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem, Lehachzikam Ulrapeotam, Veishlach Lahem Refuah Shlema, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Rosin Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Jennifer Rudin, Brad Holland, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Robert Strober, Marilyn Lubarski, Ellery Einstein, Patricia Kramer, Joan Morse, Nomi Kravitz, Craig Sachs, Simon Saul, Blair Pollock, Myra White, Lori Snyder, Charity Razaday, Mike Klein, Lily Morrison, Barbara Fass, Joel Beasy, Burton Gershman, David Bush, Howard Bush, Dana Sundin, Lawson Spicer, Mark Fenton, Gloria Foster, Rita Warshaw, Ira Crotcher, Robert Gerard, Stephen Arzt, Adele Harris, Brenda Fountain Gerard, Ron Friedlander, Harvey Sherman, Zach Gross, Jan Marcus, Howard Cummerman, Deborah Cummerman, Fred Fable, Steve Sage, Olivia Gross, Don Martins, Marla Fragosa, Paula Steinbach, and
Kadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayers as we say their names.
So I want to do an audience check here for a moment, a congregational check here. Are there any October birthdays here? Here? Oh, good. We got quite a few. So I need a few helpers to help us hold a birthday canopy. And if you have an October birthday and you're at home, just at least put in the chat so people can wish you happy birthday. Put, "It's my birthday," in the chat there. And
Yom Huledet Sameach, 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 Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach.
well, happy birthday. And I want to wish all of you not only a good birthday, whenever that day is, but we really want to be static. If I hold it on this side, it'll be less static. But a year of goodness and of blessing, a year of knowledge and growth of spirit, a year of connection to community and to your deepest self. And we wish for all of you goodness and love and connection this year, and we'll offer the blessing of our tradition.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's light shine into you and through you to others, and may God always be compassionate unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God and all that is good be present for you in your life. May you find wholeness and peace, shalom, in your heart, in your family, in your community. May you join with others to bring our world closer to wholeness, to peace, to shalom. And we say together,
Amen.
And I have for each of you a birthday pencil chocolate in our joint collaboration with Temple Beth Israel and Mark Feynman, who even from Oceanside, California, continues the collaboration. And thank you to Mark for that. And I'll give you each your birthday pencil, and we
We'll
will
play you out.
we'll sing you out.
Yom Huladet Sameach. Everybody now. Yom Huladet Sameach. Yom
Anybody's birthday? Yeah, your birthday.
Sameach. Yom Huladet Sameach. One more time. Happy birthday to you. That's you. Happy birthday to you. And Beardsley's birthday, let's know. Happy birthday in October. Happy birthday, Yom Huledet Sameach. Lecha, 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 lecha to you.
I'd like to invite Neil Gerard to share some announcements on behalf of our Board of Trustees.
Shabbat Shalom. As the rabbi said, on behalf of our Board of Trustees, I'm pleased to bring you greetings. I'd like to thank Rabbi and Cantor for leading our services tonight and providing spirit and music to us. Special thanks to the Shul Band. As always, we appreciate their presence. Thanks to Claudia Gonzalez, who expertly handles our technology and allows those who are unable to join us to be with us remotely. And special thanks to Mila for being our teacher tonight. Also thanks to our volunteer hosts and greeters who help make us safe and provide greetings at the door. The outside greeters were Joan Gerard and Judy Rose. The lobby greeters were Phyllis Blackie, Sharon Regalado, and Sarah Truitt. And the driveway greeters were Leslie Miller and Marla White. Following tonight's tefillah, we gather in our social hall for Kiddush, motzi, refreshments, and conversation. Please take this opportunity to say hello and meet someone that you perhaps don't know very well. Tonight's Oneg is hosted by Petra Mack and the Mack family. We thank them. Just a few reminders of upcoming events. Please remember our food drive in honor of the Rabbi's 18th year with us. Currently, we are just below 40% of our goal, so we've got a ways to go. So please help out, bring bags of food to the office or to room 12 when you can. Our Sukkot celebrations starts Sunday evening with a picnic dinner on the Great Lawn, followed by tefillah. And a future note, please mark your calendars. The end of this month is the Brenda Rosenfeld Scholar Series on October 28th, featuring Rabbi Stephen Carr Rubin, and he's going to speak on 5 Jewish ideas that changed the world. We hope to see you all there. Shabbat Shalom.
So 2 service notes for both those of you in the sanctuary and those of you at home. Next week is the second Shabbat of the month, and we will have our in-person family service at 6:30, followed by our regular 7:30 service. And then the following week, which is our third Shabbat of the month, will be our very first Shabbat Together service at 7 p.m. So our service that night, I really want the regulars to hear this because it's a change, right? Our service that night will be at 7 p.m., not at 7:30. And it's a service that we hope to engage people across generations, school families, and our regulars and others to be together, and it makes it a little easier for our elementary school age kids to be here because it ends a little bit earlier. And we'll be experimenting with different things, and so that service will look a little different, but it also may look a little different a month later and a little different because we're going to be trying some different kinds of things out as we do that, and we'd love to have your participation. So it's in the Kahila, it's in the weekly e-blast, it's in all of those things, but just pay attention for those who are used to always showing up at 7:30, that if you show up at 7:30 on the third Shabbat of the month, you'll be a half an hour late. So just letting you know that.
Just wanted to put in a plug for our Nefesh Mountain concert, which is coming up on Saturday night, the 5th of November. Please, 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 if you haven't already, get your tickets. Support the opportunity to bring one of America's premier traditional music bands with a Jewish twist to TBI. They've been looking forward to being here again. They were first here, I guess, about 4 years ago, and this show was postponed from January due to COVID complications, but they're very excited to be with us November 5th, and we're very thrilled to have them, and we'd love to show them a full house to help celebrate their music and just Jewish life in general. So check it out. It's on listed on our website and our emails, and also just on eventbrite.com. Tell your friends. Anybody who loves traditional Americana music will love this show, I guarantee it.
Page 282, middle of the page, Aleinu L'Shabeach. I invite you, if you're comfortable, to please rise.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol L'Atein Gedula Liotzer Breshit Shelo Asanu Kivoyei HaRatzot Velo Samanu Kemishpachot Hadama Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Vanachnu Korim Umishtacharim Umodim Lifnei Malach Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 287.
V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemalach al kol haaretz bayom ahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo
You may be seated. So Neil mentioned that the Mack family was helping to sponsor our oneg this evening, and it's in memory of James Mack. It's hard to believe. It was a year ago that we gathered at Riverside National Cemetery and laid James's body to rest. We dedicate a plaque. It's on the wall in that back corner in James's memory tonight, forever linking him and his story to our temple community. And there are so many stories that people could tell through the years of James and his brotherhood meetings and at helping out when the kids were in religious school, doing other kinds of things, and hearing his own story of becoming connected to the Jewish community and the Jewish people, and of course the stories that his children and his wife and his friends and all of you could tell, that are so thick and so much a part of your own lives. And I didn't purposely, there wasn't a direct connection between the sermon and the plaque memorial tonight, but as I was giving it, I was thinking very much of all of you that we all remember and we carry. And while people die and they leave their physical presence in our lives, from our lives, we continue to they continue to act through us in so many ways, and we have those moments in which we, perhaps not literally, but often hear their voices of the ways that we're doing things in our lives or not at any given moment. And may his memory be a blessing. May it nourish you. May it inspire you, and may the things that James stood for in his best moments inspire you to emulate those and carry them forward in your own life. Zichrono livracha. We also remember on this Shabbat Joanne Moser, who's sister of Barbara Friedman. We remember Erwin Perlman, uncle of Rita Warshaw and great uncle of Jack Warshaw. Remember Marion Peniel, friend of many within the Temple Beth Israel congregation, was a teacher at Atid Hebrew Academy many years ago, and was connected to many of our families, including my own. And to Carol Berlant, who she and her husband Gordon were members of TBI for a long time and now lived in the desert. We remember the yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Marcus DeLange, Jerry Donnan, Lottie Fine, James Gustafaro, Lillian Levin, Dora Kellman, Mamie Tickton, Matilda Coulter, Samuel Greenstein, Israel Grobin, Berthold Guthman, Jack Kramer, Henrietta Adelson, Elias Cohen, Sarah Yesnick, Margaret Babcock, Sonia DeVere, and Jerry Gilman. If you're remembering somebody on this Shabbat and would like to add their name to those I've mentioned or restate a name I've mentioned, please feel free to do so as I come by your row. And for those of you at home, again, feel free to put it in the chat. If you're in a time of mourning or observing a yortzeit on this Shabbat, I invite you to rise. And I invite the rest of the congregation, if it's your custom, to rise and embrace in support of those who mourn. Kaddish is on page 294. Yitgadal of Yitgadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayachon v'yomachon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shmei dukudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechmata. Ta'amiram bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be a blessing. And we're going to conclude on 321 with Adon Olam.
So this is a bit of a throwback to the earlier days of the Shul Ben when we introduced this melody, which is the traditional melody by Eliezer Garovich, but given a new twist by an Argentine chassid named Yehuda Glantz, and goes something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Nasa B'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nivra. Everybody now. V'acharei Kilot HaKol Levado Yimlok Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hover V'hu Yeh B'tifara. V'hu Echad V'ein Sheni Le'amshil Lo Le'achmira V'reshit V'li Taklit V'lo Ha'oz V'hamizra. V'hu Eli V'chai Goali Etzor Hevli V'etzara V'hu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi V'yom Ekra. Beyado Av Kiruchi Be'li Sham Be'a'ira Be'imruchi Geviati Adonai Li V'lo Ira. Last time.
Please join us in the social hall for Kiddush, Motzi, refreshments, Shabbat Shalom. For those who joined us online, thank you so much for being with us. Lehitraot. We'll see you soon.